Let's get some more reaction from Washington this morning. Emily Wilkins joins us for that. Emily.
Hey, Becky. Well, yeah, D.C. is waiting to see what Iran does next. But for now, Republicans on Capitol Hill are widely supporting Trump and the attack, with top Republican leaders backing the strikes. But we're going to get a better sense this week of where lawmakers stand when senators are going to vote. They're going to be on the record on whether Trump needs to get approval from Congress if he wants to continue to use military force. The measure from Senator Tim Kaine, it was actually introduced more than a week ago at this point, but it would require Trump to get congressional approval before military attacks on Iran. And senators, including Lindsey Graham, have backed up Trump. They said that Trump did have the power to authorize the attacks, but not all Republicans are necessarily united on this. Senator Lisa Murkowski said on X that while she did back the limited strikes that we saw over the weekend, she said that if it is clear this is becoming a wider conflict, we must remember that Congress alone holds the constitutional power to authorize war. Over in the House, you're seeing Congressman Thomas Massie say the strike was not constitutional. He's co-sponsoring a war power resolution in the House that's similar to Kaine's in the Senate. Other lawmakers also raised some concerns about the constitutionality, including Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a close ally of Trump's. She took to social media to break with the president, tweeting that every time America is on the verge of greatness, we get involved in another foreign war. And then she added later, "This is not our fight." Lawmakers return to D.C. this evening. They are expected to get a briefing on the strikes tomorrow. But the main focus on Capitol Hill, it's really likely expected to remain on that Trump mega bill and the tax package. Senators could begin to vote on that bill this week. Remember, that package does include $150 billion for defense spending as of now. And we'll be watching closely to see if any changes are made as a result of the attacks. Becky?
Emily, just to the tax package, it sounds like they are still counting to see if they can get the votes through the Senate before they decide to start the vote this week.
That's part of it, Becky. The other part is, remember, the process that they're using. It allows Republicans to get this done without any Democratic help, but it has a number of other rules they have to follow. Everything in this giant 1,000-page package has to have a budgetary impact. And so what's happening right now is a process where the Senate parliamentarian goes through the items and says, OK, you can include this, you can't include this. That AI moratorium that we were talking about, she has approved that for the package because that is tied to broadcast spending. But a couple of other items, including SNAP funding, SNAP cost sharing with states, have not made the cut.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say some Republicans aren't on board. I'll trade you one Fetterman for one Murkowski any day, and then you throw in Thomas Massie. And even Murkowski didn't say she was against. I mean, he can't even get Murkowski to say she was against the initial strikes. Just we got from here on out. So I don't know if I characterize it like that.
Yeah, Joe, I mean, I think in a certain degree, you do see a lot of lawmakers, and heck, there are even Democrats who were praising what was done with the particular strike. I think the question is what comes next. And I think that's one of the big things that I know in D.C. and probably across the country, everyone's waiting to see today.
And it's well known how often, President Obama dropped quite a few bombs. It's just rich. That's been pointed out. I'm not even going to go into it because we've seen historically a lot of I think we've had 150 conflicts and maybe actually had a war resolution, 8 times or something. So it's rare to do that, but thank you.
Yeah, you're right. It hasn't always been used for a number of wars. You can go back and kind of track that Congress has not always given approval. But, it is coming up, and I think it's very interesting because obviously not every lawmaker posts their opinion on X, so we can only go with those who have made public statements.
You couldn't have done this.
It'll be very interesting this week when they get back.
You couldn't have done it.